In the Sweden's 6th generation stealth fighter jets NATO's secret weapon now covered forests of northern Europe, far from the bustling air bases of the United States or the missile factories of Russia. A quiet revolution in aerial warfare is taking shape. Sweden, a country known more for neutrality and design innovation than military aggression, is preparing to unleash a new beast into the skies. And it's not just another jet. It's a 6th generation stealth fighter that may become NATO's secret weapon. The name of the game is Flyg System 2020, a secretive yet increasingly buzzworthy project spearheaded by Saab, the Swedish aerospace giant behind the famously agile JAS-39 Gripen. But this isn't a Gripen 2.0. This is something far more advanced, sleek, elusive, and bristling with technology that seems straight out of a science fiction movie. This new fighter may quietly shift the balance of air power in Europe and beyond. Let's rewind for a moment. Sweden has always played an intriguing role in global defense. Officially neutral for over 2 centuries, it built a reputation for staying out of major conflicts. But neutrality never meant weakness. In fact, Sweden has long invested heavily in domestic defense technologies, developing indigenous fighter jets like the Draken and Viggen during the Cold War, and later, the Gripen, a multi-role aircraft praised for its low operating cost and deadly efficiency. Now, with geopolitical tensions rising, especially with Russia's assertiveness in the Baltics and the Arctic, Sweden is shedding its low-profile defense posture. It joined NATO in 2024, and now it's preparing to make sure it doesn't just contribute to the alliance, it strengthens it from the sky down. Enter the Flyg System 2020. Sweden's answer to the F-35, the Russian Su-57, and China's J-20. While most details are classified, what little has been made public paints an exciting and terrifying picture. This aircraft is expected to incorporate 6th generation features, such as manned-unmanned teaming, MUMT. The jet won't fly alone. It will operate alongside drone wingmen, which it can control in real time, sending them on scouting missions or even combat runs. Artificial intelligence. Onboard systems will assist or even take over during high-stress combat situations, reacting faster than a human ever could. Advanced stealth. Unlike earlier stealth jets, which relied heavily on external coatings, Flyg System 2020 will likely have baked-in stealth through shape, radar-absorbing materials, and internal weapon bays. Sensor fusion. Real-time data from satellites, drones, and ships will be combined into one clear battlefield picture. An AI-powered combat brain. Hypersonic compatibility. Future versions may be capable of launching hypersonic missiles, allowing it to strike targets before they even know it's coming. Now here's where the story gets really interesting. In 2019, Sweden signed a memorandum of understanding with the United Kingdom to co-develop next-gen air combat technologies. That relationship matured into something bigger, a trilateral partnership between Sweden, the UK, and Italy, all working together on the Global Combat Air Program, JACSIAP. This initiative includes the Tempest fighter, a 6th-generation jet set to replace the Eurofighter Typhoon, and potentially fly alongside Flyg System 2020. So what's Sweden's angle? Unlike larger nations, Sweden can't afford a sprawling military-industrial complex or a bloated defense budget. Instead, it focuses on smart design, cost efficiency, and rapid adaptability. Saab's philosophy isn't to match the US plane for plane, it's to outthink and outmaneuver. That's why Flyg System 2020 is designed to be cheaper to maintain, quicker to produce, and easier to upgrade than many of its global rivals. The Gripen C/D has the lowest cost per flight hour among NATO-compatible jets, roughly $7,000 compared to $35,000 for the F-35. Saab wants to bring that same affordability philosophy to Flyg System 2020, making it the people's stealth jet. Affordable enough for export to smaller NATO allies without sacrificing cutting-edge tech. The new jet also fits perfectly with NATO's evolving doctrine, especially in the Arctic and Baltic regions, where short runways, harsh weather, and rapid deployment matter more than sheer numbers. Sweden's next-gen fighter will likely be short takeoff capable, highly survivable, and versatile enough to strike ground targets, engage enemy aircraft, and conduct electronic warfare. Missions. That's what makes Flyg System 2020 such a big deal. Not just for Sweden, but for NATO as a whole. In a defense alliance dominated by American military hardware, a 6th-generation fighter jet developed by a relatively small, formerly neutral nation like Sweden could change the strategic landscape in profound ways. Why? Because currently, only a handful of nations are even in the race to field 6th-gen fighter jets. The United States is leading with its highly classified NGAD, Next Generation Air Dominance program. The UK, Italy, and Sweden are collaborating on the Tempest GCAP initiative. And there's China, developing the J-31 and rumored successors to its J-20 stealth fighter. Here's why that matters. First, it adds strategic diversity. The bulk of NATO's current and future stealth capability is centered around the American-made F-35 Lightning II, while adding a European-built 6th-gen jet that's not beholden to American export controls or proprietary systems gives NATO breathing room. Second, it brings operational flexibility. Sweden has always built jets for high readiness, fast response defense. Their Air Force designs prioritize short takeoffs, fast turnaround times, and rugged performance in unforgiving conditions. Gripens, for example, can take off from highways and be refueled and rearmed by conscripts in under 10 minutes. If Flag System 2020 inherits that philosophy, NATO gains a stealth platform that can operate far closer to the front lines, from remote locations, or even from damaged infrastructure. Third, it democratizes access to cutting-edge technology. American jets like the F-22 and even certain configurations of the F-35 are not available to every NATO member. Political conditions, export restrictions, and budget limitations create layers of disparity across the alliance. Fourth, it brings innovation. Sweden's aerospace industry, especially Saab, is known for its creative solutions to complex problems. And finally, there's the message it sends to the world, that NATO isn't just a legacy alliance, it's evolving, with new threats rising from cyber domains, space, and AI-controlled battlefields. The future of warfare will demand collaboration between both giants and underdogs. Interesting detail. While Flag System 2020 is separate from the Tempest in name, some analysts believe it could share core technologies, such as radar systems, propulsion concepts, and cockpit designs. This allows Sweden to stay independent while still benefiting from multinational R&D power. And the timing couldn't be better. With Russia flexing its muscles and NATO seeking to modernize, Sweden's entrance into the stealth jet arena comes with geopolitical weight. It sends a message. Sweden is no longer just the quiet Nordic neighbor. It's a tech-savvy, highly capable player ready to protect not only itself, but its allies too. The public may not see Flag System 2020 in action for a few more years, but make no mistake, this is not just another aircraft. It's a symbol of a modern, forward-thinking military that values innovation over intimidation, a quiet game changer, and potentially the stealthiest ace NATO will ever have up its sleeve.